What's up, guys? I'm here making a little video, not a little video, it's like probably going to be like 20, 30 minutes. Basically detailing all the future fall releases from this year, Blu-ray, 4K, all in between. Um, I, yeah, just wanted to just air my thoughts out about the future releases of what I might review, may not, all these good stuff. Um, Man, Criterion really, this was the year of basically stuff that we always wanted and stuff that's just reprinted, right? Because you have all your, you know, not Mean Streets, which was just released, but you have your, what is the other one? After Hours. There's also like just like Inland Empire, like the big ones, the big fish. And now we've gotten like a lot of other basic 4K upgrades to these Blu-rays that people might enjoy. But I'll talk about the caveat there about getting that, and but basically, what I'm attempting to do is just looking up stuff that I find to be interesting. So in this case, I might miss Moonish Daydream, La Bamba, Bo Weiderberg, all these good sets that you might enjoy and everything, but just what I find interesting, of course. So, so we'll go deep into it here. So first is Walkabout, and yeah, we'll do that real quick. This is like my one of my favorite films of all time. It's incredible. I love it. If you haven't watched it, just get the Criterion channel and watch that. It's absolutely wonderful. Now, uh, interesting enough, like this Blu-ray that I have, it was released back in 2010. It is it has an effect called bronzing, where like if you play it too many times, then it'll eventually just render your Blu-ray destroyed or something like that. I haven't gotten that far yet, even though I watched it like 10 or 15 times. So this like 4K is a welcome addition if you have the Blu-ray and are kind of like nervous thinking that it would ever get damaged or anything like that. So this is like a new, well, yeah, just an updated version and of a all time great film. I know I said that like 3,000 times, but Nicholas Rogue. Obviously, I've reviewed him before, Man Fell to Earth, performance and such like that. But Walkabout is the film. This is what should be his most remembered film, even though it is mostly like performance, bad timing, and all just like these very weird films. But like Walkabout's the best. Um, Now this was released. An updated Blu-ray was released through Second Sight back in 2019 that had a new color grade that was a lot warmer than this Blu-ray. If you guys know what I'm talking about, which a lot of people may not know, there was like a limited print run of that. I think it was only limited to like 3,000 copies. I don't know why they did that. Just because like it kind of sucks, especially because like Walkabout's like one of those films that I know I'm gonna have a bias in it because I never got it, but because I was a little bit late to the party there. But with that being said, like I do think that that new transfer, because I've only saw the screenshots of it. I think they look a lot better than the Blu-ray here because I think the warm tones complement the film better. But either way, I don't know if this is the new transfer or not, or new color grade. I don't think it is. I think it's just like um, the old Blu-ray just with Dolby Vision laid on top of it. And this is what you're going. This is like a reoccurring trend that you're going to see throughout this video. Is basically just the same movie, same special features, just 4K on top of it, which kind of gets into a big kind of like existential thing because it's just like, okay, should you even just get this just for like Dolby Vision or whatever like that, or are you just very satisfied with like your Blu-ray and you just don't even want to upgrade? That's like kind of I know for like 4K and like for video presentation, a lot of us is just like give me the 4K or nothing, just boom or bust or whatever. But sometimes I think to myself, if they don't, if they are just, if this is like the trend, and Criterion is just listening to people, mind you, like they're just redoing the films that can have like a Dolby Vision sort of thing on it, spin it as 4K and then just do it. But yeah, I just kind of think to myself again, just there's really not a whole lot of in the special features that we don't already have on the Blu-ray, and that's the thing is that just like Days of Heaven and just like Videodrome, I think, um, and then also Don't Look Now. Um, Most of these are the same special features, and I wonder to myself like, I don't know why. I still know people in my life that just won't even get out of VHS, right? And I can understand that. There's some sort of like nostalgia factor, and um, you once you, it's like how like some people are just like, oh, well, I'm not technologically sound or whatever, like I'm not technological inclined or whatever. They kind of use that as an excuse to just not um get the best presentation that you absolutely can, or even special features of the film, mind you. But um, to each his own. So like and in this case, like I look at this kind of release, and even though I love Walkabout so much, I kind of think that what, maybe they that's kind of like a win on their behalf. Like basically just just keeping the same release and just watching it over and over again. Like the DVD head still, DVD is still outpacing Blu-ray and 4K, even 2023, because it's cheap, it's cost effective. Just that's the power of DVD, man. And like it's still going on. So now I'm just like in a niche, like sort of lane here, but I sort of look at this and I'm just like, well, this is kind of like sort of like the worst part of it, really. It's because like as much as I like 4K, I'm just like, man, if this wasn't like a favorite movie of mine or whatever like that, it's sort of like a Rules of the Game that they did, or even Breathless to me. But with Rules of the Game, I'm just like, man, how much can you really get out of that sort of like that dupe negative or whatever like that? Because I don't even think it's like the original negative. It was just like the copy of it. So for fans of the movie, of course, whatever. But whenever it comes to this, I just kind of think sometimes I'm like, you know, maybe this is what like people in DVD thought of Blu-ray, and they're just like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep my DVDs. I don't need this Blu-ray stuff. Now I remember buying like my first Blu-ray I ever got was A Clockwork Orange, and I remember this. It was 2007. There was like or 2008. There was a sale going on for like a Blu-ray player for like $100. So I got that. I got A Clockwork Orange, and I watched it, and then my mind was blown because I was like, you know, up and around movies all the time with my dad, showing me Coen Brothers films, and watching that for the first time, and was just like mind blowing. I didn't think that like a picture could look that good, so that's why I've always been intrigued by like these updates, because it's always been about like the best presentation that you can watch. Now, especially like with streaming and theaters nowadays, like I can't, if I wanted to go out and see, I couldn't see Asteroid City by Wes Anderson in my theater. Couldn't. Because it's owned by like AMC. Well, not even AMC. It's just like it's owned by um but basically it's like you're running out of options at this point, especially like when you want to watch like artsy, kind of stuff that we're into, right? So I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just rambling on here, but anyway, so I'll just cut this off. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that like I understand why that some people just like kind of stay in their lane whenever it comes to older formats, for sure. Like records, for example, right? But oh well, that's a different story. Anyway, I'm gonna get off topic here. So if you can see, one 4K UHD disc in the aspect ratio of that, presented in Dolby Vision HDR. So I did not know that the aspect ratio is off, or unless it's like completely different in another version of the film. And I love this movie, and I had no idea about that. So I guess it'll be different in that respect. So it'll be a different way of watching it completely on me. So, but again, all the special features are the same as I knock my mic over. So we continue going to The Trial, which is a Orson Welles film from 1962. The only Orson Welles film the only Orson Welles film I've never watched is The Trial, and that will change. This was released on Studio Canal, I think, like either earlier this year or last year, I forgot. But that one had, I think, Dolby Vision. This one does not. This one does not have Dolby Vision. This is just like a straight up 4K presentation of this film. Don't know why. Very strange choice. I guess it may have been technical issues. I have no idea, but maybe they found something off with it. But I heard that the Studio Canal version was really awesome, and that there was no like problems with the picture. So who knows there? So like you have a audio commentary with Joseph McBride. He does a good job. He's a Wells disciple, so like obviously he's going to have a lot of information there. So um I wish that in one of these Orson Welles Blu-ray or 4K, I wish they had that arena documentary that they have on YouTube in 1982, where they just sat down and went through his career. I don't know why they couldn't get the rights to that, because on the Citizen Kane, they got the one specifically talking about Citizen Kane, but they couldn't get the one about the overarching thing of his whole entire life, which I have no idea because it's like the same program. Anyway, because that documentary is really good if you haven't watched it. Like, it's probably the best, third party documentary on Orson Welles' career. If you haven't checked it out, it's like from BBC Arena. Anyway, I'll probably get the Studio Canal version of this because it just, I know, I'm just I'm just like the same as the others, 4K or bust, right? But I think it's definitely cool to have the 4K presentation. But yes, like if you have like the Dolby Vision, I would rather have that version just so I could see for myself. So anyway, off of the trial here, then you got Don't Look Now, another Nicholas Roeg film. Just like Days of Heaven was out of print for 2 years because Paramount took the rights back and gave him back to Criterion from some weird reason and kept Rosemary's Baby, whatever. Like, I guess it's just how business works. But Don't Look Now is pretty good film. Not my favorite Nick Roeg film, but it's one for the holiday season, one for the Halloween season to watch for sure if you haven't watched that before. This was also released on Studio Canal, another Studio Canal 4K that was really, really, really good. I think this is, the same thing here, and it's same special features as the last, the last Blu-ray release. So then, of course, Videodrome I've already mentioned. Freaks. This made my top Blu-rays video totally, well, at least one of the titles obsolete, because now Freaks is on Blu-ray, which is awesome. Yes, thanks to me. And then also like The Unknown by Lon Chaney, and well, no, it's not by Lon Chaney. It's obviously by Todd Browning, but it to me it is their best collaboration. The Unknown is a very 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 messed up, twisted, carny. It's great. I love it. And this is a new, I think 2K. I think it's a 2K scan, and it's a one that's doing the unreleased version of it, because the one on TCM I think only clocked at like maybe 67 minutes or something like that. This one I think is more. I'll go ahead and check here. 67 minutes. Okay, I totally lied then. But either way, I mean, this is a really good movie. I never saw The Mystic, so that's going to be interesting. Kind of want to see the specs on Freaks real quick. And do not see it, of course, except the screenshots here. Let me look. Because it looked pretty good. This is from a 2K scan. Looks serviceable enough. Let me look here. So it looks pretty nice. Yeah, let me look here. I'm trying to see the special features on this thing, but it does not have. Oh, there it is. Okay, 2K restoration of Freaks. I kind of want to. Okay, 2 audio commentaries. That's awesome. By this guy. New interview, archival documentary on Freaks. Yeah, dude. Like these special features look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Like these are pretty awesome. So I don't know about day one on this, because I've saw The Unknown like maybe 5 or 6 times on TCM growing up, and but Freaks for sure is like worth the price of admission, because this has been the DVD I think is maybe out of, I don't know, but it's, how long has this format been around? 2007. So what, like almost 20 years in the making for this one. Excuse me. So pretty cool there. Now we go to and these are the Janus contemporary releases here. I think the one that stands out is No Bears from Jafar Panahi. He is a Iranian director in the vein of like Abbas Kiarostami and Makhmalbaf, and he's basically a political exile within his own country. So he's only allowed to like make these films. Like, this is not a film that was illegally sent in by a cake, which is crazy. And then to a film festival, by the way, or No Bears, right, which is like the newest one. I don't know if I'll be watching this or not. It seems to me like more online, with the whole like, he's a political prisoner. Unfortunately, it's just another reason why dictatorships suck. So my simplistic view of that. Um, Jackie Chan, Emergence of a Superstar. This is I want to know how many films Jackie Chan has made, because it seems like to me when he wakes up in a 24-hour day, right? Well, during a 24-hour day, I don't know. Um, how many hours is that dedicated to making a film? Does he just live on a film set? Because like I can't count how many Jackie Chan releases have been released this year. I have no clue. Like Shouts 88 films, like they released like a whole bunch of his stuff, and now like Criterion's getting in the mix. I'm just like, hold up, like I, mean, I can only get so much Jackie Chan in my life. So but I don't know if I'll be getting that. Obviously, The Last Picture Show plus Texasville, Peter Bogdanovich's arguably his masterpiece. This was released on the Columbia Volume 3 box set, I think like last year or the year before. And that's cool for those people that like the movie. I think it's all right. But yeah, for sure, like definitely check that out. And then the two ones here, the two big ones. So Days of Heaven. One of my more embarrassing videos was like, reviewing Terrence Malick's films all together, even though that they all deserve their own separate video. My fault, obviously. Terrence Malick's Days of Heaven is a beautifully, a wonderful film as far as the cinematography goes, because Nestor Alejandros did such a great job on this film. It's just breathtaking. You know, the close-up shots, the landscape, and it's just achingly beautiful. And you can put this up there with among Terrence Malick's great films in terms of that. Now, with that being said, I mean, you can of course give or take on the plot, which that'll divide people. But again, it's a 4K makeover. It's a new digital restoration, by the way. So it's a restoration. It's supervised and approved by Terrence Malick. We don't know if this is like the old version. That's kind of got people nervous. But I don't think that it's going to be a different color grade. I really doubt it. Dolby HDR on this one. Unfortunately, the same special features, unfortunately. So if you love Days of Heaven, of course, check this out. The Blu-ray is one of the, I would probably like maybe top 10 Blu-ray that I have is probably Days of Heaven, because of how good those special features are, how good just how beautiful it was. It was made for the format. It's beautiful. Now, because of this 4K, if Criterion nails this, I mean, it could be like one of the better 4Ks that you're ever going to see. That's that beautiful of a film. But with that being said, it's just if you're not a huge fan of the film, then you could probably just keep the Blu-ray. But obviously, like the main feature of the film, I think, is the cinematography, and that enough alone is to get it, just based on the 4K alone. So there's two conflicting things there, so you have to take your pick. I might wait for the sale to get this one, because any 4K Malick, for sure, you got to get it. So next is Mean Streets, my favorite Martin Scorsese film. A wonderful exploration, very autobiographical. And I'll be able to talk about it whenever I get the film. But it's still my favorite Martin Scorsese film. It just is. I just everything about this film is awesome. The soundtrack, the acting, the just. When James Gandolfini, he said that like everybody from Jersey and everybody from that part of the country wanted to be like Mean Streets. They just wanted to be like, sort of like Wise Guys. They wanted to be in that sort of environment. And I think that, I don't know why, and I think it's because of like how just free flowing the film is, but it's just so, the one thing that I can say about Mean Streets is that it is so vibrant. That's the word. It's so vibrant that I don't think that Scorsese really touched that in his later films, like especially like when it's covering this topic. But I do think that it's just that's just what it is for me, man. Mean Streets is now, judging from the title, you think that this is going to be like an all out like backroom brawl like type of movie, but it's not. You know, it's kind of strange because it's like Goodfellas and Mean Streets should have had their titles switched. Not just take all the figurative, symbolic sense or whatever like that. Like this should have been Goodfellas in terms of like just a straight up word for it, and the Mean Streets should have just been Goodfellas, right? Um, but anyway, like I love this film. It's great. This is day one for me. It's awesome. So that's really all of the Criterion stuff. I know that there's going to be like some more released in December, and that's for the winter and all that stuff. And then that's when I'll eventually like do another one of these and do a sale haul video. So um, the next one, now I won't touch a little bit on the other labels because the other labels haven't really released a lot of stuff that I was really interested in, but I'll touch on a few things. First is the gigantic news just recently that Columbo, the 1970s set, and really the meat of the series, really the meat and potatoes, the really good stuff, is being released, restored in 4K by Universal Pictures. This thing looks incredible. It looks expensive as hell, by the way. Like, this has to be... Oh, God. It just looks so good. People love Columbo, by the way. I know, like, some people are just like, Columbo, what are you looking this up for? Basically, like, Columbo is, like, it's about a guy that solves mysteries in a world that doesn't have lawyers, right? So, like, basically, it's about just picking apart and just figuring out these killers' motives and why they did it and all that stuff. So Columbo was so big, people, that like Romania almost fell into collapse because they didn't know that this was going to be syndicated for the rest of the time, right? So when it ended, like they almost like that's still like the craziest story. And then Peter Falk had to go on the air on the radio waves there in Romania and just tell them like it's all going to be in syndication, it's going to be fine, like you guys got to calm down. I just cannot like, dude, Columbo's awesome. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to get this because it's just, this looks like super, super expensive. Probably like about 100, at least $200 for this set because, I mean, it's just, this is some of the best television ever put in the 70s, in my opinion. It's Columbo. And look at all of this, all of these special features. Like, look at this, man. Look at all these audio commentaries for all these. Like, and that's the thing I kind of miss about DVD era style special features is that, like, and what I loved about like especially like TV series like box sets was that most of them had audio commentaries to them where it was very relaxed. It was it's just like this isn't like just looking at every single frame or every single picture or whatever like that, or this is symbolic in this meaning and all that jive. I'm talking about like this is just reminiscent of that time where it's just loaded with audio commentaries and people that actually, really love this series and really enjoyed it. So looking at it here, I mean, select the commentaries, all these new commentaries for all these episodes, booklet, 71-minute cut of an episode. Like, look at all this, man. Anyway, I do love how they just said restored in 4K. It's just awesome because like most like standard definition TV or whatever like that, they're never going to say like restored in 4K. They're just going to be like, oh, this is standard definition. Here you go. And just put it on a Blu-ray or whatever. No, they meant to say like, buy this. This is really good stuff, restored in 4K. And people were mad that it wasn't in 4K. Anyway, so yeah, Columbo's great. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I think that's incredible news that, Kino is deciding to put this out. And a second part of this, and Columbo, the 1980s as well. So for sure, pick that up if you love Columbo. So now we go on to Radiance titles, which I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep on doing the whole blind buying thing with Radiance because it's just with all that Criterion news, I'll just say it right now. I'm probably going to get Walkabout just because I love the film, as well as Freaks, and Don't Look Now, as well, just specifically from Criterion, and then and maybe Days of Heaven, but for sure Mean Streets. So like those are the ones I'm probably going to get, and that means that there's probably going to be cuts, for the blind buys as far as Radiance goes, and I hate to say that because I really do like going on this journey that Radiance, has been able to release from these films that have been forgotten. I recently just watched the Costa Nostra box set, and you know what? It's the best thing that Radiance has released. It's absolutely wonderful. I and all the box set was made with tender love and care. The special features are absolutely great, and I would highly recommend it. And that's another video I'll do. But these other films that they've released later in the month are more horror based, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not a horror guy. You can find like a bunch of like other YouTubers that are horror guys, honestly, but not for me. I just don't find it to be interesting. As far as like a whole entire genre of it, not just saying like specific films like Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby, or anything like that, but when it comes to like the whole like genre, sort of like film noir, I'm just like whatever. Like I'll watch it if it's a really good movie, but like the trappings of the genre is just whatever to me. But anyway, so The Dead Mother has like more of like a French New Wave thing from what I'm hearing. But I don't know if I really even wanted the CD along with this, unless the CD is really good or the musical score. But um, I guess like I'll have to keep The Dead Mother on watch for sure. I'll get Visible Secret. I think that especially since it's only like a single pressing, and this looks to be a very interesting film from what I looked up as far as like the not the plot but just like the basic outline of the film. And then Messiah of Evil, which a lot of people are looking forward to. The people who made Howard the Duck made this film, which Howard the Duck's really not that bad. It's a weird concept, never should have been made. like, but Messiah of Evil, like looks up that same alley. But that's basically all the releases I wanted to look at for now. I know that like of course, okay, people might say like, okay, where's Severin? Where's Vinegar Syndrome? Where's all that stuff? Maybe for a later time I'll be able to see what's up. But for now, that's just like what's on my radar and what's been on my head for like these past few months as far as releases go. So thank you guys so much for like staying up until the end here. Oh god, dude, almost like 30 minutes long. So I appreciate your guys' support. Like, subscribe. Just chill out to this video, I guess, because it's a long one. But I appreciate it again. Thank you so much.